The views, opinions, positions, or strategies expressed on WLAF TV 12 do not necessarily reflect those of the staff, management, ownership, or advertisers of WLAF TV 12, 1450 WLAF Radio, FM 100.9, or 1450WLAF.com.
Are you missing out on extra Medicare benefits that you may be entitled to? Hi, my name is Blake McCoy with Independent Insurance Consultants. If you have Medicare A and B and have Medicaid, TennCare, Q&B, or receive extra help on your prescription, drug premium, and copays, I want to make sure that you are receiving all the extra benefits that you are entitled to. Call me toll-free today, 1-866-691-5571, and let me help you.
Welcome to RaisX.
RaisX has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call RaisX today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor. Here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Linda Kilgore, State Farm.
State Farm agent Linda Kilgore is driven to save you money on your home, auto, and life insurance.
Hi, my name is Linda Kilgore. I'm a State Farm agent in Jacksboro, Tennessee. I have 32 years insurance experience. I have been here in Campbell County for about 21 years. We offer auto, homeowners, life, health, banking, and mutual funds. Come by and let us give you a quote. Doesn't cost you anything. We can answer all your questions and choose the coverage that's right for you.
Or see State Farm agent Ann Gwen Love.
If you need rental insurance, stop by and see me at Linda Kilgore State Farm.
For all your insurance needs, see State Farm agent Linda Kilgore in Jacksboro across from Walmart. 423-566-5000. 566-5000.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. If you live for the outdoors, there's a Polaris to match your passion. Confident, comfortable, capable. That's Ace. With a solo cockpit, automotive controls, independent suspension, all-wheel drive, and up to 45 horses of fuel-injected power. Calling it revolutionary would be an understatement. Polaris, the world leader in off-road innovation.
I'm ready?
You're ready.
Okay, folks. Welcome again to Campbell County Issues. Tonight's show is also being brought to you by True Value Homes in Scott County on Highway 27 and 63. Right in that intersection, it's a red light. If you're going 63, you just look straight to your left. And folks, they have a great selection. And you know, they don't have to pay high rent. They don't have to do this or that. They're out there in the country. In fact about it, they don't even have city sewer. That's how they're in the country. And so their overhead is a lot lower than these places in Knoxville or Nashville or Maryville or you name it. And they have a great selection. And here's the kicker. No matter what your credit score is, there's a good chance that you can be financed at True Value Homes in Scott County. Also bringing you tonight's show is Brimstone Recreation. Brimstone Recreation, we started that thing, which I have no financial interest in the place other than I was just wanting to help Scott County. We needed monies. And folks, I'll guarantee you that Brimstone Recreation will bring in the two concerts they throw each year, at least 30,000 people into Scott County. They will double our population. And it's just a big thing. And they've got, like I say, they've got 20,000 acres and 300 miles of maintained trails. And this year on September the 18th and 19th, the Camp Razor will be back in Scott County again, and they will be giving away $200,000 worth of merchandise. 200,000. So you get on at brimstonerecreation.com and you can order your tickets and not have to put up with all that mess and just go down to the concert. Most of you know all about it. And now I've got my buddies here that was here a couple of months ago talking about the Clinchmore flood and their 50th anniversary of that big flood. So I'm going to turn it over to you. It belongs to you guys for the next 20-30 minutes. As long as the call's coming in or you got information to give them, I'll sit back and relax.
Okay, my name is Willie Buttram. I spent almost 20 years at Clinchmore. We moved away in April of '65 and the flood hit in July of '65. Our house sat right on the creek and I reckon it washed our house away. And thank God that we didn't live there or we'd all been washed away. And anybody out there that's got some pictures and stories of Clinchmore, you're welcome to come over there Saturday, July the 25th, starting at 9 o'clock. And this is my friend Alva Jean Darty. And if he's got anything to say about it, let me know.
Yeah, Pastor Bruce Wallace, he said, we're going to set aside Saturday from 9 to 5 to welcome back to people that used to live there, people that lost loved ones, and even people that may have moved out of state. And if you know of anyone out of state, please call them and let them know that we're going to have a special day of remembrance for this people. Now the only thing that's left of Clinchmore is Clinchmore Baptist Church. They said that when the waters came down, the waters divided up and it spared the church, and that's about the only thing that's left. And I go there every Sunday when it's the weather permitting, like in the winter. But it's like home to me. Go back to the mountains where my grandparents are from, and I just love to be in the hills and the mountains of Tennessee. And remember, now we're going to have food, we're going to have drinks, and we're going to have everything necessary to accommodate people. So if you know of anyone that lives out of state, or anyone that's in the different counties, please let them know that this day, it'll be this coming Saturday from 9 to 5. And we're going to have different singers, 5 or 6 different groups of singers to sing, and we're just going to have a good day together to celebrate, the ones that's left, and to thank God for the church that God spared.
Well, now you're going to have a midday a dinner on the ground.
Yeah.
And how's all the food going to be prepared? And is there any charge or anything?
No, the church is going to provide everything.
The church is going to provide everything. Well, how many people are you preparing for?
Well, we prepared about 200 or more.
Oh, well, okay, great. Well, there'll be a log jam coming out of there. Well, I'm sorry for butting in, but
That's all right.
That's right.
go ahead.
I've got some old pictures to show people, and they can copy them if they want to, of the commissary, the old Clinchmore schoolhouse, some of the camp houses, and I got pictures of the destruction of the flood. And the church, it shows how the water went around it. And a picture of the old railroad trestle, which was quite a large trestle at the time, and it took it completely out of there. And it's still over there buried right now.
That's huge. It was huge, wasn't it? Now, the 5 people,
5 people
Was
lost
killed.
their lives, yeah. Bird's family, 5 of them.
So that was Jim Birch and 2 of his daughters and 2 of his grandchildren. This is my wife's family members at her
did
grandfather.
anybody survive that was in that house at all, or?
No.
No survivors.
No survivors in that house.
Now, her uncle, he called Jim Birch, he's a preacher. And he said, old man, he said, you better get out there, because the flood waters are, getting up high. And the old man said, surely it's not that bad. About that time, with then, that's when the flood water hit the house. It washed house, soil, and everything. Nothing left to even know that people had even lived there. That's how swift the waters were.
Oh, now, there wasn't that big of a creek. There was a dam up on the mountain.
It was for the strip for coal, and
Yeah.
left the strip pits open.
Uh-huh.
And they'd logged in there earlier and just left the stumps and old pieces of timber laying around.
Uh-huh.
And that water broke loose and gathered all that up, come down that creek. And it was tearing out everything.
Oh my gosh. But now, wasn't there a schoolhouse up there?
At Clinchmore?
Yeah.
Well, there was Stony Fork, and there was a schoolhouse which was tore down in 1957 when my first cousin and some of the old company schoolhouse.
Okay, and now this flood happened in 1965, right?
Yeah.
So, somebody out there? Oh, okay, that's the Reverend.
Yeah.
So just come right on in here. And so we got a good conversation going on here, preacher.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
And we're trying to figure out, in 1965, but the school had been torn down in 57.
Yeah, the old Clinchmore schoolhouse, which was up on the top.
And that was in Campbell County.
Yeah.
You know, at one time, Scott County had 38 schoolhouses.
38 schoolhouses. Didn't know that.
38. See, it's the second largest county by area in the state.
Yeah.
And every little, even rock houses and places like that, Jellicoe Creek, and you just name it, and they all had their own little one-room schoolhouses. And so Clinchmore, but they probably had a pretty good sized school, because at one time there's probably 200 to 300 people that actually lived up there and worked up there.
It actually was a 4-room schoolhouse, Ariel. The rooms were pretty good size.
So they have 2 to 3 classes in every room.
Each room, yeah. Now Beach Fork had their little schoolhouse, and Welch's Camp, and so did Pee Wee. They had 2 schools, Pee Wee school.
So I'd say that you guys probably had a lot of them too, because of your mountain here, because, you know, a lot of people, they don't even consider the other side of the mountain as part of Campbell County. That's true. Because you guys basically used to come into Scott County to load your coal on the trains.
Yeah.
And go to the store, but you had a commissary.
Yeah, had a commissary.
And you had some of that script
Yeah.
you was going to leave here with me, but I was afraid I would never get it back to you, so don't lay it on the table, because you won't get it back.
I'll bring it over at Clinchmore. I've got some people said they had some script cards that were supposed to bring them.
Oh, okay.
So it's been a long time since I've seen a script card.
I've got 3. Well,
Have you?
yeah, my dad.
Might be you tell me.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, and then you guys are supposed to be having a big time with singing and Are you gonna have any bluegrass or country music, or is it all with gospel?
It's gonna be all gospel.
All gospel.
Well, I can't come in, I do rock and roll.
Oh, well, you can come over and visit and
No,
be with us.
I'm just kidding. In fact, I got a gospel album out that, I've sold out of it 3 or 4 times. And did you know Joe Miller?
Yeah.
And Joe Miller said that I could sing, Deep Dark Gray,
Deep Dark.
House of Gold.
House of
House of
Gold.
Gold.
House of Gold. He said I could sing House of Gold better than anybody ever heard in his life. Yeah, I do it a little different, a little higher, you know. But anyway, I love it. But now, if there's anybody out there who wants to, to call in or ask any questions, they're not having steak now. But I'd say I bet there'll be some chicken and dumplings over there.
We're gonna have, there'll be all kinds of food over there. The women got together Sunday and decided what to prepare. Some that wasn't there, we know what they're gonna bring, that comes to church there. And we've got, we're gonna start setting up the little tent things, Friday, maybe Friday, we'll have the plaque that we're gonna put up over there. And two, everybody's watching, if you know any pastors that pastor Clinchmore Church, we're inviting all the pastors to come and be with us. I got a call the other night, I was going to church, and I got a call from a guy that was talking about his brother, I guess coming out of North Carolina or South Carolina, and we was telling him to talk about some things. But when you go to thinking about these areas, like what you talk about, the coal train, the trains that came up in there came from Scott County.
Right. Yeah.
That's where they came from. The tracks were laid from Scott County up into Clinchmore, Pee Wee, and that's how they got their coal in and out,
Livonia?
Livonia, I was trying to think Livonia. I had a picture, I believe you've got that picture. I was going to show everybody about that one mining camp over there. Was it Livonia?
Devon, Fort Mountain,
Fort
Livonia.
Mountain.
Yeah.
Fort Mountain. And,
Morris Coal Company.
I guess, RL is, as we think about these things, you think about Scott County, Clinchmore, Pee Wee, and Welch's Cap, and all the other counties. They were all based at one time on coal.
Absolutely. I mean, well, the severance off the coal in Scott County did us well. It actually kept up our schools and stuff. But now, I better not tell them some bad news.
Uh-oh.
Because, well, our property taxes went up on us 12 cents per unit. I was at the meeting tonight, and you know what they said, that they were going to have to, this is what Jeff Marlowe told them, they had to go up at least 50 cents on the property taxes.
50 cents?
50 cents.
Dang.
We'll talk about that, people, after the next break.
I wonder, where is the limit at on taxes? Is there no limit?
You know what?
The working people, they work hard, try to have things, and yet.
And one of the things that we see today, people are moving back farther in the mountains and getting back to where the land, at one time you could buy all the land you wanted for $5 to $6 an acre. And start living off the land a little bit more. We're going to have to if we keep this stuff up. And like I said, I don't want to get into this, because when we get into this, we can't get our what we're here for tonight. And we're here for tonight to get people to come up to Clinchmore and have any kind of a connection. In fact, about it, hold on just a minute. I know he can't come. I'm going to call a man here and tell him we're on TV and we're talking about Clinchmore, and he's in Iowa.
In Iowa.
Let me see if I can get a hold of him. And I'm gonna tell him see if he's got any stories, because he was just a kid when his daddy was up there.
Just a kid.
Uh-huh. Let me just see if I can get a hold of him. I'm gonna tell him we're on TV and I got a bunch of kids. I got a. Y'all are kids.
we were kids.
Folks, I'm not crazy, I just act this way. Hello?
Yeah,
Mr. Bird,
yeah, buddy.
I've got, I don't know, is it 2 preachers?
Yeah.
And another guest here with me. And this Saturday is the 50-year anniversary of the flood at Clinchmore. And I was wondering, because I know at one time, I believe your dad was a mine foreman up there at one of them places.
Yes, we lived in Clinchmore and Pee Wee also. He was a mine foreman in both places.
I'm talking to a person in Iowa, folks. Anyway, is there any stories you can tell? They're having a 50-year anniversary this Saturday, and they're here to invite all the people in Campbell County and tell them the stories about Clinchmore and Pee Wee and Rosedale and all that kind of places. And I know if you was well, you would love to be there.
No, I'd love to be there if I could drive. Of course, I can't make the trip.
I know.
But now, I was 5 years old when we lived there at Clinchmore. We also lived at Wels's camp also. But anyway, I can tell you a tale on Johnny Wayne.
Well, Johnny Wayne, they all know Johnny Wayne.
Yeah.
Johnny Wayne does a TV show just before.
Oh, John Whale?
Yeah.
Yeah, John Whale.
Well, they were in church, and it had rained,
Yeah.
and the creek was up quite a bit. And Shirley is sitting by the window of the church looking down to the creek there. And of course her grandmother and mother was on over, and she looked and saw Johnny Wayne going down the creek in a horse tub.
Oh my God!
Yeah, he had got in a horse tub, and they had to go way down the bank before they could get a hold of him. But he was going down the creek in a horse tub.
Is that something?
Well, we
Go ahead, buddy.
we wished you were here
Yeah.
and can enjoy this one. He said they expect up to 200 people or more, and they're going to have a homegrown green beans, chicken dumplings, homegrown potatoes. All that's going to be done. All that's going to be done by the church, and everybody's going to come and have a good time. They're going to have about 6 groups of singers, and I know you're a singer, so.
Marty, I'd love to be there.
What year did he leave?
Oh, gosh, I'd love to be there, buddy.
Well, he's 75, so he was 10 years old when it happened.
1947.
Yeah, he was born in 1940.
1940, so it'd been 1945.
Yeah, I was 5 years old when we lived in Pee Wee, and I can remember going to a one-room schoolhouse down there at Beachport.
Yep.
But my daddy's the boss up at Rosedale, and we lived in Beachport. Then we moved on up to Rosedale.
Okay, well, buddy, I'm gonna have to let you go.
Yeah, buddy.
We're here on it.
I wish them the best, and I hope the Lord blesses them to have a great day,
Oh, listen,
a great time.
in your book, do you have any stories on Clinchmore?
No, because I was too little to remember them, and I don't remember Daddy telling anything. I remember at Beachport that a lady went into labor, and she had several children, and Mr. Atkins, who had the grocery store there, had one of them old bread trucks, we used to call them. Be like a van today, but they had no windows on the side. And Daddy was taking her to get her to the hospital, and up on the mountain, she went
know, I bet you some of those people that know her are probably listening to our program tonight.
Yeah.
But,
I probably will, buddy.
okay, appreciate talking, and I hope how soon you can come home and see us.
Yeah, I wish I could, but tell them if they haven't next year, I'll do my best to be there.
Okay, John, Don.
All right, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Hear from you, buddy.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's all right.
That's one of my old buddies. He lives in Des Moines, Iowa. And I married his first cousin, but anyway, we played, went to school together and played basketball at Norman together. And he was 6'4", and I was about 4 foot. And if you guys will remind me when we take a break here in about 3 minutes, and because we haven't gotten any calls, which we've been talking too fast for him, I guess. But he's got a book out there that he wrote on all that stuff in there, and it's great stuff. If you guys want to take it up there, it's $10 a book. I think there's about 20 books in it. And if you sell any, and I'll send him back his money. But but that's up to you guys.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do. It's in the back of my car. Whenever he sent me 40, but he had a heart attack. That's really, and I'm in a bad one. And it's been almost a year now since he's been home. But me and him still talk quite often.
It's good to hear from people
Yeah,
like
so,
this.
but anyway, just tell the people out there if they don't know how to get to Clinchmore. You've told me how to get there, but I was around about going, but there's easier ways.
If you have a GPS, if you put 800 Clinchmore Road into your GPS from where your house at or wherever your business is at, if you put 800 Clinchmore Road, it'll bring you right to the church.
Oh, okay.
I got the address and that's what it was, 800 Clinchmore Road. But if you come in from Scott County side, if you come up through Norma, and up to Smoky Junction and up through there, you'll just come straight until you see the sign there. It says Clinchmore Baptist Church, and you just make that right.
Well, now there is a forks up there that would take you down to 116. But you got to take that left up and go up to where the old Stony Fork school was at, and you turn right over that bridge.
Over the bridge.
Now you're talking about, I'm not saying nothing negative about Clinchmore, but you're talking about a waste of money. People needing bridges, they ain't nobody lives up there, and they built a nice bridge up there.
Well, at the time, the school was still there, Stony Fork was still there.
Yeah, well, they didn't have to have it to get to the school.
They had the old Orange Bridge, wasn't it, really? The old, I remember the old Orange Bridge, and it was orange looking color and had the old wooden lays on it, and then it had that running board. We always called them running boards, and that's where you got your cars at when you went across the bridge.
Let me tell you another good one. You guys know where Bull Creek's at?
I know where Bull Creek's at. Yeah.
Okay, Bull Creek's on the other side of the hill from Norma.
Yeah.
And anyway, there's a bridge that goes across the river before you get to the Big Bull.
Yeah.
And it's a big old bridge. And somebody said, that's the stupidest thing they'd ever seen. They built a $1 million bridge on a 10-cent road.
I believe that's your county officials.
Now there's still 3 houses or 4 houses up through there, and at that time when they were building the bridge, there was those houses plus the school, the church, and then you still got a house there that people lives in. As you go across the bridge and you come past the school there, you got a house on the left. And you got you got the fire department across there too. So there used to be quite a bit of homes, quite a few homes going up there after you passed the schoolhouse there. I think there was probably 7 or 8 homes up through there. You had a store up there at one time. Pearl Phillips's Mrs. Phillips has had a store up there, even after the flood and everything, she still had a little
I'm
store.
trying to think of his name, I can't think of it to save me. He worked for me, Davis.
Davis.
Lives there at, he still lives there at Stony Ford. I see him every once in a while, or used to.
Now, the man that lives up there now, the one I'm talking about is Mark McCain. He's lived
There's a
there.
bunch of McCambeys that worked at Levi's, and how they didn't work for me, they worked for Levi's, but I was basically the superintendent, really. The supervisors worked for me, and those guys worked for, but I know every one of them's name.
You're probably talking about George Davis.
George Davis.
Still lives.
George Davis.
George still lives over there.
Yeah. He never did get married, did he?
Not that I know of.
I don't think he did.
I don't think he ever got married, because George, he was just a loner.
He
Very much a loner, but a good worker.
he comes up and sees us sometimes. Well, matter of fact, I talked to him the other day, but he comes up, visits us, when we was doing all that work up there. We had a lot of people coming up, and I don't know what it is, people just taste that road because it goes across the bridge and it goes up through there, and they just wonder where the road goes to. And so as we was over there the other day, finishing up the monument, we had a guy to come in, and he asked me about it, and I was telling him about it, and he was born and raised up there. And then when we was over there camping, we had quite a few people come in, and talk about how they were, been there. And a lot of them wanted to go into the church house and see how the church house had changed, And I would say that the whole week that we was there, I'd say there was maybe 8 or 9, 10 people came up there, to just to
visit. Well, now, okay, I guess about 5 minutes over my break time, but let's just do that. You guys want to stay around just a few more minutes and talk? It's fine with me. Let's take a break, and we'll be back right after these words from our sponsors.
Are you missing out on extra Medicare benefits that you may be entitled to? Hi, my name is Blake McCoy with Independent Insurance Consultants. If you have Medicare A and B and have Medicaid, TennCare, QMB, or receive extra help on your prescription, drug premium, and copays, I want to make sure that you are receiving all the extra benefits that you are entitled to. Call me toll-free today, 1-866-691-5571, and let me help you.
Welcome to Razax.
Razax has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call Razax today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Hi, I'm Linda Kilgore. This is my 35th year with State Farm, my 25th year here in Campbell County. I'm not a high-pressure salesman. I like to just sit down with my customers and help them decide what's right for them. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon.
A Mule Pro FXT can't handle. The 2015 Mule Pro FXT. The Mule Pro FXT is engineered to smooth out the most rugged terrain. Over 8.5 inches of suspension travel make uneven surfaces feel a lot less jarring. while a tight 16-foot turning radius combined with electric power steering means easy and effortless cornering on a dime. Engine braking is tuned for a controlled feel when heading downhill, and high output LED headlights light up the way. Round out this exceptional package with the maximum stopping power of front and rear disc brakes, and there's almost nothing the Mule Pro FXT can't handle. The 2015 Mule Pro FXT.
And I've asked the guys to stay around just a little longer. I know that we haven't gotten any calls, but still, this is just country loving what we did as kids, and I can get into it and listen to it all night long. But couldn't do it without people like True Value Homes over in Scott County. Keith Kloppfelter is the manager over there, and they've got financing for you. I go over there and check with them, and there's two numbers here for you if you want to give them a call: 663-8633, 663-8633, or 663-1068. And also Brimstone Recreation. And I want to plug one more thing. All the churches here in Campbell County, and anybody else that wants to go, but churches that would like to participate in an outdoor revival, it'll be at the gazebo in Huntsville, down at the town mall. I guess when they started this 3 or 4 years ago, they had a revival, and they had 400 or 500 people to attend a couple of times. So they wanted to invite everyone, come over Sunday night, 7 o'clock. They plan to at least have the meeting to go for at least 2 hours. And if everything's going good and there's a lot of good singing and shouting and going on, they'll go home when they take an ocean.
Yeah, that's right.
So anyway, now I want to ask you one other question. You said that the house that you had lived in was you had moved away a year, but nobody else moved in it.
No.
So it just for 10 years it would sit there. How come you all move away?
No, the mines had shut down, and Dad got a job at Tribal.
Oh, where's Tribal?
It's up around Rosedale, Devonia through there. That's why we moved.
Oh, okay.
And we moved in April of '65, and the house probably stayed empty just 3 months.
Oh, okay. And that house got washed completely away.
It got washed down, lodged against the trestle where the creek run on the trestle. And it started breaking up, and that threw the creek right down next to the church. It went around the Baptist church.
Well, now I got that record where the woman, the singer, and I gave her a copy. And she plays it sometimes, don't you, Honeybee? Oh, she went back to her. She has to work. She puts me on, go back and work the radio.
Yeah.
So anyway, so 3 months.
3 months. There would have been 9 of us at home. And I had 2 older sisters that was married and gone.
All of it would have been washed away.
Now,
We lived right on the creek bank.
Now, right down where he lived at, I didn't know this till a couple months ago, or not a couple months ago, a couple weeks ago. My great-great-great-grandfather had a sawmill right down below where his house was at when he moved out. I mean, I guess this is when the mines were just getting started. I reckon they cut timbers, for the mines and stuff. And I didn't realize that till there was a person called and told me that, and I thought, well, and I'm just 63 years old, and I had never heard nobody, say anything about that. But I've learned more, and I lived there, and as Willie lived there, I've learned more about people that lived over in that area, and than I ever did know. I'll just be honest.
In the last 6 months, since you started talking about this reunion.
In the last couple of months, I've learned, and people's called me, and they tell me who they was. And I'd go to banking and I'd say, yeah, I know who you are now. And, you know, it's amazing that, how that we forget things. You know, I'm real bad to forget things. I really, truly am. But when people go to call, and you know, last week I had 4 calls about the remembrance, about the remembrance of it. You know, and the people and all the people that lived over there. I think, really, I think you said you counted you had how many houses that was laid out?
Actually, there were 4 counts.
4 different counts.
And plus more houses that belonged to the count that were just scattered out here and there.
And a lot of those houses were mailed in and came in on trains or trucks or whatever.
They come in on flat cars.
The flat cars.
And they built it there.
And they were actually pre-made houses in Sears and Roebuck.
No, these wasn't.
Oh, they weren't?
That Roaches Creek was made for
Sears and Roebuck.
Sears and Roebuck. My goodness, I didn't know that.
Yeah. They actually, their counts had, and basically, you know, we talked about this, and I let it slip my mind the other night because I was trying to talk about it. But basically, and during those times, so many of Scott County and Campbell County, Anderson County, actually were slaves to those owners.
Yeah, they were.
We would want to thank them for providing us a way of life, but we were our families were actually slaves.
Yeah.
My whole family worked in the mines. My dad worked in the mines until it was probably 50. Dad went to work for the railroad in Pennsylvania Railroad. A lot of mines started closing down. Then got so deep into the mines. But now we were talking there a minute ago, and someone may enlighten us a little bit on this one. In 1902, there was a mine that here in Campbell County, I believe, that blew up and killed 100 or 200 people.
Yeah, Frederickville.
That would have been Anderson County.
Anderson County?
Yeah, Frederickville.
Yeah.
Was
Frederickville. And now a lot of people don't know this either, that the highest peak between the Smoky Mountains and the Rocky Mountains is the mountain that Scott County, Anderson County, and Campbell County, when they come together down in that area.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more snow and rain down there than there is here.
Yeah.
You can't imagine how much difference that it is in the rain and the snow and even the temperature. Because you know that mountain's over 3,000 foot high.
3,000 and some feet.
Yeah. And actually we had seems of cold higher than most of the mountains here.
Yeah.
And you know we fight back and forth about stripping and coal mining and stuff, but we really didn't know what we had, and if we could have just preserved it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got, you know, the mountains here, I mean, as you look at them now, you know, most of them has been stripped, and then when you ride through there, say on a four-wheeler or you know, four-wheel drive, I mean, you see that, and I think about the hard work that was put there, and I know that they say mining and stripping is bad, but back 10 and 15 years ago, when they had no laws and regulations on it, it really truly was. But when they started coming out with laws and regulations, you had to put it back to almost its contents. But you go through there now, and I did.
There's so much compliment.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. Let me get this, okay? You're on the air. Uh-huh.
I asked the Buttram guy if he's related to Glenn Buttram and Oneida.
He's my first cousin, yeah.
First cousin.
First cousin.
First cousin.
Okay. Well, my husband and I came to Oneida, I forget, about 10 years ago, and built a new Church of God there in Oneida.
Yeah, I've been,
Went back,
Yeah.
and Dan was a member of that church, right?
yep, I've been in that church.
June B. Terry was a member of that. Did you meet June B. Terry?
Who?
June B. Terry.
No, I don't
June B.
remember
was a
her.
big man, weighed about 450 pounds, 500 pounds, a big old man. And he was a businessman and did extremely well.
I don't know, I don't remember him.
Oh, okay.
But I was kind of watching the program, and I just wondered if he was related to him. We came over there, and my husband and I built that church, and stayed 5 years and left it debt-free. That
Wow.
beautiful church there.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
That is a beautiful church.
We were Campbells that lives in the Pilot, Tennessee now.
Yep.
Yeah. Appreciate your call.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now something else that I wanted to, because I get on these memory things, boy, and I know you people out there right now saying, well, you shut up, Ariel. But I bet you it's had some kind of a theater or something up there where you used to go to, or somebody did something.
Well, there was there at the old Clinchmore Schoolhouse, they had picture shows there. I just barely can remember it.
Yeah, we had pictures at the Straight Forks School, and then at Cloris Strunk had a big old garage, and he'd show movies there every Thursday night, 25 cents. And then they have a cereal, what they call a cereal, and it was Long Ranger most of the time, or Hopalong Cassidy or something. But back then we didn't believe in love stories. We all wanted to ride horses.
Be a cowboy.
Yeah.
On the long gas.
No, I mean, so what other kind of things did kids do for recreation?
With gravel flippers, slingshots, and go up down the creek killing snakes. And click and wheel and
I still
rolling
got
a car tire around.
I got a clicking wheel.
Yeah, I remember.
Build our own sleds in the snow.
Oh, yeah, we did too.
You know,
Yeah.
And we'd go find us a grapevine somewhere up on the side of the
I've done
one,
that.
real steep thing,
yeah.
and we'd cut it off, and swing out into wonder we had all got killed. And I remember whenever they would come and the loggers would come and cut down, and we had back then we had some big poplar trees, and they'd split that stuff right down the middle and take that axe and do that and just roll that stuff off, and there'd be these big old things, and we'd make a slide from one. And these water slides didn't have a thing on us. Only thing is we didn't have any water at the bottom to stop us. We'd be grabbing onto a tree or rock. We did things back then, you know, and again, a lot of that stuff, they just modernized it, but we'd already done it.
already done it.
We did. We created it for ourselves.
Sure did.
You could go back, where my wife's family lived, the sidewalk there and the steps are still there and the well. And we went, the last time we went, we found one of her mom's old wash tub that left during the flood. And she got it, hided it, and put it in the yard, put flowers in. So we go back every so often, you know.
That's my phone number there.
You're on the air?
Hello?
Go ahead, you're on the air.
Yeah, this is Willie's foster daughter. Hello?
Hello?
And I just want to wish him happy 70th birthday.
Oh, he didn't tell that.
I'm going to get, no, I told him already.
Yeah, he told me to give you a
Okay, all right.
I would go to bed without supper.
Yeah, we did. Whenever I was a kid, dinner was at 12 o'clock noon,
12 o'clock.
and not 7 o'clock at night.
At one time at Clinchmore, Mom had to
So
cut
let me tell her thanks for the call before it started screaming at us. Thank you.
She had to cut us down to 2 meals a day when the mine shut down, breakfast and supper. No dinner.
No dinner.
She had to do that to make ends meet. We was getting the commodities, the free stuff.
I know exactly.
And,
We got them too.
And 2 meals a day is all she could afford to fix us.
I remember my grandfather, which raised me and the other kids. My father basically took care of me with enough monies to buy me lunch at school, and honest folks, when there wasn't school going on, they didn't have to cook for me at home, because I was out at the swimming hole, or I was out doing something other, and stealing apples off of somebody's tree, or in somebody's watermelon patch. I was doing something other, because I wasn't going hungry. Well, you can tell that, but back. But anyway, and I want to mention this, and then I'll let you guys go. And I want you to wait till I go on break before you leave. I'll give you those books, and if you get me any money back for them, it's just $10 a book. If you don't, just someday bring them back, and I'll give them to him when he comes in.
I'll take care of them.
And so, I can remember, folks, when we actually had marble tournaments.
Yeah. Hey, I love to play this marble.
And we had different ones. We'd draw a ring and put, we'd put 10 or 20, 30, or how many rings. If there's 10 players in it, everybody put in 5 marbles, and you start shooting. As long as you can stay in that ring, you can keep poking out marbles. And we had another game we called Roly Holy. You can take your fingers in this way, and if you make the thing, you get to go closer to that hole. And then we had another one we called euchre. Did you ever play euchre?
No, I ain't never.
Well, we had euchre had marbles about 1.5 inches round. They had big marbles.
Big marbles, yeah. I've seen them.
And folks, they'd get into money games and them things. Back then, if you had $2 or $3 in the pot, they'd kill you over that.
You was talking about them marbles when we put the water system back in the church over there. Steve Goins, I don't know if he's watching or not, but they were digging the hole out underneath the church to set the tank in. Steve said, "What's that laying there?" And I looked and I said, "I don't know what it is." And he found a marble. He dug a marble about underneath the church. And I told him, I said, "I just don't know how old that marble would be."
Yeah. So me and this guy named Donald Chambers, I'd say Donald had a flour sack full of marbles, because he was that good. And I had about probably 200 or 300 or something like that. And I bet you some of them houses at home now, if you got there and started digging, that you'd find a sack of marbles. Because, every kid wanted to play marbles. And at recess at school, you either played marbles, or you played on the outdoor basketball court, or you played softball. We didn't play no baseball back then, or we didn't, because we never had no field big enough to hold a baseball.
Well, now Clinchmore had a softball team.
Yeah, they did. They had a real team.
Yeah, every little school had a softball team, or even every little community. Yeah.
They had their uniforms and everything.
Right. Well, we done the same thing over there. We had. Well, I'm talking about at Oneida now. Where I lived, we didn't have no uniform. We didn't even have any socks. And most of the time, in the summertime, we didn't have any shoes.
Hey, I had 2 pairs of shoes, buddy. That's all I had. But Willie was talking about when the mines were on strike and everything there. And I don't like gravy today. I don't, people, well, why don't you like gravy, Bill? Hey, my mother made gravy out of water gravy and water bread. And I ate it so much that I just got foundered on it. And now today I don't eat homemade gravy. I just somebody asked me, "Well, you was born over in Clinchmore. You ought to be able to eat gravy." And no, not me, dude, because I had that water gravy. But you talking about cooking and everything. I've seen Mommy cook soup beans, and we'd eat on for 5 or 6 days. Sure would.
And you had no refrigeration.
No, they don't.
All you had to do was bring them to a boil every day,
Yeah.
and they'd get better and better.
Better and better. Yeah, they did. They got better and better.
Folks, I'm gonna let them go. I know you guys will talk about something else, and I apologize, but I couldn't. I've enjoyed this.
I
Now,
appreciate you.
whenever I get down to the break here, I'll be right out there, and I'll give you these books, and I'll get back in here.
Let me say this, Arlie.
No, say whatever you need to
I want
say.
to thank you for letting us be able to be on this program, the time that you spent and helped us. Thank you very much.
I appreciate you just coming by. You're welcome anytime, you know. But the next time, let me know. We'll dress different.
Are you missing out on extra Medicare benefits that you may be entitled to? Hi, my name is Blake McCoy with Independent Insurance Consultants. If you have Medicare A and B and have Medicaid, TennCare, Q&B, or receive extra help on your prescription, drug premium, and copays, I want to make sure that you are receiving all the extra benefits that you are entitled to. Call me toll-free today, 1-866-691-5571, and let me help you.
Welcome to RaisX.
RaisX has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call RaisX today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor. Here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Pierce. I may not be Jake from State Farm, but I do wear khakis. I've been here with Linda Kilgore's office for 2 years. I enjoy helping people make a decision regarding their insurance based on their needs and wants. I'm fully licensed. I enjoy selling auto, home, and life insurance. So feel free to come in or call in anytime, and I'll be glad to help you.
Now with a full line of independent rear suspension options, the all-new Foreman Rubicon and Rancher automatic DCT models are equally ready to work and have fun. Part of the growing ATV family from Honda.
Okay. Okay, we're back. Folks, True Value Homes over in Scott County is sponsoring the show tonight, and I hope that we can get some of you folks over there. I know someone the other day called me from here and asked me the telephone number over there, and it's 663, that's 423 exchange, 663-8633. You're on the air.
Oh, tell RL I said tell Bruce to save me 3 of those books this Saturday.
Well, this is RL, and they're already gone, but he's got the books and gone.
All right, thank you, but I've enjoyed every listening to you.
Oh, thank you.
And I used to live there, so I know what Bruce is talking about, but they see them books.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay. There's 2 or 3 things, but first I want to talk to you. I went to the county court meeting tonight, and I had a heads-up call that Jeff Marlowe would be relieved of his duties this afternoon. That I needed to come to the county court meeting. And the reason for this dismissal was at the end of the year, it appears that every balance in monies in any budget was basically spent. And I don't know. Anyway, there was one purchase order for $21,000. Now that's what I heard being said. I didn't get no official papers or anything, and supposedly they had a rule. Now the budget committee, I sat and listened to the man argue the point with the finance director that no purchase order could be let over $5,000 without the commission's approval. Then it got to $10,000 or something came in there. Then all of a sudden it was ever how much money was in the budget for certain things, for used equipment. And I just basically got confused and left because I knew, or I thought I knew anyway, that nothing was going to happen. Nothing. And all of that was basically where I've got to say the mayor and the county commission absolutely did not know the rules. And Jeff Marlowe knew the rules. So if Jeff Marlowe had been released and he had just not even argued the point and let him go ahead and dismiss him, there's possibly he would probably end up a heck of a lot better off than he would working. So now what's my point? My point is the way that not just your county government works, but the way that most county governments work in these rural areas is we elect people that absolutely does not get down and dirty and understand the process. I'm talking about mayors. I'm talking about chairman pro tems. I'm talking about everyone in that office that's responsible for spending your money and my money telling you, and I've told you before, Jeff Marlowe, absolutely. If the mayor was making more money than Jeff Marlowe, then that position was paying more than Jeff is earning as a finance director, then Jeff Marlowe should be running for mayor. But here's the issue. Jeff Marlowe don't have to answer to the people. He only has to answer to that county court. And folks, he outsmarts them 18 times a day. Whatever, I mean. So I don't know whether, other than I got the people that from Clinchmore watching or not, because we went a little long, and I really enjoy that kind of conversation or talking about those kind of things. I absolutely love it. And so, but anyway, in this deal, Jeff Marlowe said that there would have to be at least a 50-cent, not 50%, a 50-cent raise. Now, if your tax rate, I think, is like 217 or something like that, 278. So you're talking about a 30% raise or something like that. So it's going to be big, folks. It's going to be big. We ended up with a 12-cent increase. But here's another thing. I believe, and I may be right, and I might, but I could be wrong, that school teachers here in Campbell County hadn't had a raise in like 6 or 7 years. You're on the air.
Hello, Ariel.
Hello.
Hey, I won't take up much of your time.
I'll take all you want. There's nobody else wanting to talk to me.
I just want you to talk just a little bit, about your operation, how everything went. And I'm glad to see you're doing okay, though.
Okay, I appreciate that very much. Oh. Well, my operation.
Have you back, Ariel?
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Well, my operation, it went really well. But as far as pain and all that kind of stuff, I've not had that bad of pain. I've had pain, but I've only taken 2 pain pills since the operation last Tuesday. I go back tomorrow. I have a pacemaker that's well, you could call it a stimulator if you wanted to, but it's the same thing as it goes in the heart. It's a stimulator. It goes into nerves that controls the bowels and the bladder. So, as far as my bowels has been working good, but my bladder has not. I still got the same problem. So, I don't know what will happen there come tomorrow. I know they're going to have to teach me, because I was not in I guess, the best sense of, and so I stayed in the hospital from 8 o'clock until about 3 o'clock. So I was only there about 7 hours. And the deal actually went into my upper right hip. And I'm telling you, only thing that I've been restricted to is I can't lift more than 5 pounds. Or not supposed to lift more than 5 pounds. But when you raise that arm, you're raising 15, 20 pounds. But I know but additional pounds, I'm not supposed to do that. But I'm doing good. I'm not feeling the best in the world right now, but I'm still doing good. And there's no danger of of any, permanent damage or that can cause any worse than what that's going on with me. It's a long story, and you just wouldn't, unless you had it, you wouldn't understand it. But the doctor told me out of the 315 million people in America, at least 60 million of those people have the same problem that I have, but they don't know how, or don't have the insurance, or they don't have the knowledge of this new procedure. In fact, about it, I know I have talked to 3 different pharmacists, and none of them had ever heard of it before. So it's a new thing, pretty much, and believe me, if it corrects it, I will be the happiest person around. So that's where it stands, and I hope you all will. But now, no one wants to argue about the 50 cents. So now I want to talk to you about the flag, the Confederate flag. Is there anybody out there that would like to talk about that? Because I basically have I got a pretty much open mind on it. But there is one thing that I don't understand. I could understand a little bit more if I seen people running around with the Confederate flag draped over their truck, or with the flag handle and on the back of their truck, and this and that, if it was elderly people, because they're elderly people around here had relatives that well, in Scott County, believe it or not, just up to a couple of years ago, we had a gentleman in Scott County, and he had a sister that lived over in North Carolina. Their father actually fought in the Civil War. They fought in the war between the states. He did. And here's a funny story about that, folks. Now, back then, when a young girl or young boy became old enough to reach puberty, they were old enough to marry. That's just the way it was. And this Griffith guy, if you don't believe me and you don't understand it, go to Scott County Museum, and the whole story is there. But this guy, 88 years old, married a 13-year-old girl and had several children by her. Now, I don't know how long he lived, but he had 5 or 6 kids by 13 and probably 20 years old whenever he died or whatever. But that's part of the museum in Scott County. And in the Scott County, whenever the Civil War happened, Tennessee officially went with the South. Scott County did not go with the South. Most of the people actually fought for the North. I think my nephew has written a book that's basically just telling a little history about Scott County and all the people that served in the Civil War, or not just the Civil War, but every war from the Spanish-American War. And so anyway, this guy had the kids. I believe the girl still may be living, but now the guy died a couple of years ago. But Scott County actually conceded, or actually withdrew from the state of Tennessee and said, we no longer belong to the state of Tennessee, or we no longer belong to the North. We will stay neutral and we will become part of Germany. That plaque's over there too. You can read it too, folks, if you ever come over there. And so most of the people in Scott County fought for the North. Now, again, back to the flag. I can understand, basically, people, the older people, taking a side one way or another and saying, well, it's there. But most of the people you see with those flags now are young people. And they don't know nothing, probably don't, most of them don't know nothing. I mean nothing about the Civil War or even studied anything about the Civil War. And I think it's a form of protest of something they don't absolutely. It was the battle flag of the Confederate Army fighting Northern soldiers to keep our country together. And it definitely showed that they were fighting, I still believe, for the wrong cause. Because America, everybody's supposed to have been freed but again, like I say, the people that's flying this flag, they're welcome to fly. I just don't think it should be, I don't think states Tennessee or state of Mississippi or anyone else should be flying just the rebel flag in a form of protest, because it still brings back those people like the one that killed the 9 people in South Carolina. That young man killed 9 people because of hate, and we're going to take back our country. It's just like this guy down in Chattanooga. Why would he kill? There was more, if there was a reason to kill, you could say that, okay, killing the soldiers made more sense than killing 9 church-going people in the church on a Bible study. And whenever I look at the two, I see hate on both sides. I see the young man that killed the people down in Chattanooga, killing recruiters because they go out and get people and train them to kill a religious group of Muslims or whatever, jihadists, you name it. I see the one over in North Carolina is basically the same thing. Because you don't believe in what I believe and you're black, I'm going to kill you. And we could say, well, what did that have to do with religion? Those 9 people was killed in the church for that person that did it for a reason, because he left one of those people alive so they could tell his story, that why he was killing them. So anyway, evidently, not too many people interested in that. I must have made a lot of people mad tonight. Didn't mean to. But I still, 1 hour I just got to sit here and talk about our heritage. And the heritage was, what is the thing that drove, why was the Follett formed? Why was Scott County and Campbell County and Anderson County, most of it, coal mines? It was, that's what we fed off of, is coal mines. And we was here in the, I guess, in the mountains to where, and in southeastern Kentucky, where we were a different people. I mean, you stop and think about it. We're still a different breed of people. We actually act on things that we shouldn't be. Folks, I don't know, the population of black or Hispanics in this area was so minute that it was actually, I still think it's hate. It's not, you know, I just want them to stay in their place. Where is their place? I just want them to go back to Mexico. Or I just want them to go over here and go to Mississippi or go to Detroit, or they don't have no business around here. That's wrong. And that's not Christian-like to me. And so I know sometimes I get off on some of these things and I go too far. But it's like my host, the host of my show for me, and I thank the world of him. He and I have a whole lot of, different way of thinking. Especially when it comes to how people should live their own lives. I don't believe we need to be poking into other people's lives unless they're breaking the laws. You're on the air.
Well, I enjoyed that reminiscing you out there with the Rispian guys.
Oh, I appreciate that. I was glad somebody enjoyed it.
You know what? That sort of takes me back up in the mountains there, up in the home looking place in Canada there. Us getting out and riding them treetops. So, and wagon wheels out of old pine and logs cut up and make wheels out of them. Going off the side of the mountain over and hitting the rock and busting, skinning everybody, you know?
Yeah.
It just, but when we was growing up, we didn't have cars with wheels on them. We had mud cars. And we made them out of old red clay.
Yeah. But I tell you, we just done a lot of things that people wouldn't even think about doing today, you know?
No.
And
like playing marbles and sticking the wheel, you know?
Yep.
The kids don't understand what that is. They don't. But you know what? We didn't have much, but we was a heck of a lot more happier back then than they are today.
It seemed like it.
Hey, it does. It really does.
I don't think most of the kids you look around, they're never satisfied. No matter what they get, they want more.
Yeah. if it ain't got a bus with electric running to it or a motor that a crank, they don't want it.
Right.
They really don't. But I really enjoyed it. That took back a long, long way.
Well, I want to tell you one other thing. It just came to my mind, and one of the toys that we did, it was probably the hardest to, I guess, master was these little wheels, or even a bicycle wheel, and where you just took a stick or a wire, not making no crook in it, not making a click, just down in that groove and rolling that thing everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I said, sticking the wheel, that's what I meant.
Oh, was it? Yeah, we did that all the time.
Yeah.
That was hard to do.
Yeah, and what we had to shoot the ball through was an old part of a 5-gallon bucket built up on top of a barn.
Yeah, and well, there's some of that stuff that we did too. You know, especially if you got a round wooden basket, you cut the bottom out of it and you nail it to the barn wall.
Well, yeah. But we never had baseball, we had softball, so they might have an old army stock and hit stuff full of rags. A lot of times, I mean, I'm serious.
Yeah, and you know why? That even today, the soccer is, most people never believe this, but soccer is the most popular sport in the world. Why? Because kids can't afford balls, can't afford bats in these third world countries, and they go around and kicking cans and this and that, and folks, I don't know. Our kids, you can buy them 2 soccer balls and a baseball and all these kind of things. I've got to tell you one on my grandson. Week before last, he wanted to hit some golf balls. He's just 9 now. He just turned 9. And I mean, he can absolutely knock the cover off a ball for 9 years old, or 8 years old, really. And so, Papa, let's go to the driving range. I want to hit some balls. So I took him down to the driving range and I got him a bucket of balls and I let him hit that bucket of balls, and he did really good. He wanted me to hit some. I hit 3 or 4, and I don't know, I play real good golf for an old man. And so anyway, 2 days later or something like that, he said, Papa, and it was hot. He said, let's go hit some golf balls. I said, man, I don't want to, it's too hot. He said, come on, Papa. So we went down there. I didn't even take my clubs out of the car or nothing. And he took his clubs and went over and got him a bucket of balls. He wanted one of them big buckets so he could hit a bunch of balls. I said, no, let's just get a $5 bucket. And if you hit those and you run out, I'll get you another $5 worth of balls. Well, he'd been playing and he was so tired he couldn't hardly walk, but he just didn't know how tired he was. So he started hitting them balls. He hit about 6 or 7, and he wasn't going as far as he thought they should go, and he's going left, right, or rolling down the fairway. And so anyway, I'd say out of that bucket of balls, about 40 balls, he probably hit 10 or 12. Then he started throwing them. Mad as he could be. So when he gets down to about 20 left, he said, Papa, I'm ready to go up.
It's too hot, wasn't it?
It's too hot. So he just left somebody a bunch of balls there to hit. He didn't pick them up or nothing. He just went. But anyway, Papa's got him spoiled rotten.
Oh, well, that's the way it should be, Ariel.
Okay. Appreciate your call.
Hey, but I did enjoy that, but I really did.
Well, I love to do that, and I know some people don't. They'll go ahead and turn away to something else that they enjoy more. But we'll talk to you later.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
You have a good one.
We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Are you missing out on extra Medicare benefits that you may be entitled to? Hi, my name is Blake McCoy with Independent Insurance Consultants. If you have Medicare A and B, and have Medicaid, TennCare, QMB, or receive extra help on your prescription, drug premium, and copays. I want to make sure that you are receiving all the extra benefits that you are entitled to. Call me toll-free today, 1-866-691-5571, and let me help you.
Welcome to Razax.
Razax has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call Razax today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor. Here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Hi, I'm Ann Love with Linda Kilgore State Farm Agency. I have worked in the insurance and financial services industry for over 20 years, formerly with the John R.W. Brown Agency. I'm a native Campbell County and enjoy helping people with their insurance needs. Stop by and see me for all your insurance needs.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. If you live for the outdoors, there's a Polaris to match your passion. Confident, comfortable, capable. That's Ace. With a solo cockpit, automotive controls, independent suspension, all-wheel drive, and up to 45 horses of fuel-injected power. Calling it revolutionary would be an understatement. Polaris, the world leader in off-road innovation.
Okay, we're back, and again, True Value Homes. Let me give you the telephone number, and folks, they have financing in-house. They'll take care of that financing for you. They've got somebody out there that's going to connect with the right people, get you in that new home. That's True Value Homes. Keith Klopfelter. You're on the air.
Yes, I was calling to see if you know what went on down at the meeting tonight at the courthouse.
Yeah, there was information distributed that Jeff Marlowe was going to be relieved of his duties tonight and in a court meeting. But once they got there and they started talking and they thought that he had breached the rules, that he had actually signed a purchasing order for $20-something thousand that he didn't have a right to do. But once they got down and explaining how this takes place and whatever, and I guess they go to the county attorney and asked him about some of the things, and Mr. Marlowe evidently knew a whole lot more about the actual laws and the rules of our county commission than the county commission knew of themselves. So whenever they got around to it, they didn't have no case evidently, and Mr. Marlowe's still your finance director for Campbell County, and he also made a statement that you look like that your taxes was going to be increased by no less than 50 cents. Not 50%, but 50 cents. So that would be at least 25 or 30% increase in your property taxes.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, okay.
That's basically what happened.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Yeah, I know last week we were, you're on the air.
Hey, good evening, Mr. Gibbs.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
It's fine. I'm glad to see that you're in good health.
I'm definitely on my way back to and feeling better. It's hard to go through, and I'm not saying I'm any worse than anybody else, but what I've been going through for a while, it's rough.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're doing better. And on the subject of the courthouse or the meeting or whatever, it's my understanding that the finance director cannot be removed by the county commission. It has to be done through the finance committee. Am I correct?
Well, see, the finance committee cannot, they can recommend. And whenever we went down there this evening, evidently the finance committee had decided that they were going to recommend that they relieve Mr. Marlowe to the full court of his duties. Well, the finance committee, once they got into it, and I have to say what Wick Goins said, he looked over at the mayor and he said, when they got corrected about everything, and he said, when are we going to stop this? When are we going to know what we're talking about before we basically get the word out, or before we they come there, the committee came there with every intentions of recommending to the court that Mr. Marlowe be relieved of his duties.
Okay, now the finance committee, it's made up of the road superintendent, the school director, and the county mayor, I believe. And if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Marlowe, is he not a member of the finance committee? No,
that's not the finance committee, the one that can do this to him. It's just the committee within the appointed by the mayor from your county commission, and they are the ones that could, not the finance committee, to make any recommendations on that particular one. Now, I guess Mr. Schleicher, he was on that finance committee board, and the finance committee recommended to the court that they do not reappoint Mr. Schleicher on that board, and that's how he was removed.
Okay, but am I correct in saying that the finance director is a member of the finance committee?
He's not a member. He sits in the meetings.
Okay.
And now, unless there's been a rule change or something other, he does not. He just manages finance, and he don't. And he can recommend to the committee, but the finance committee is supposed to be at least the road superintendent, the sheriff, the mayor, one or two outside people that does. It's not.
I believe there's one. I think
they can be as high as 3, I believe.
Oh, okay.
They can be. I don't know how many there is.
But I'm not familiar with all of it, but just from hearing discussions and whatever concerning it. Now, if I heard something, you made mention of something there as to if there was any money left in accounts, or we're talking all accounts had to be or could be spent at the end of the fiscal year.
Well, in fact, that's what I was told. Now, I'm just going by with what I was told, that all the monies was used out of all the accounts.
In other words, it was used, or it had to be used, or could be used.
It was used.
It was used.
Now I'm listening. I listened to the mayor say, okay, $10,000 in this account, $20 in this, or I'm just using figures.
Yeah.
15,000. But the whole thing come down to that committee that was going to say, okay, we recommend relieving Mr. Marlowe as, and whenever I first went in, I was thinking, well, I'm not sure, it's Stan Marlowe, is it Stan? I thought, well, they're going to relieve him for something other wrongdoing, but no, actually, the committee couldn't fire Stan Marlowe because he is an employee at the, I guess, for the mayor, because you know, they did this stuff when they took the, I get the waste part away from the committee, and Mayor Beard took over that. Well, Mr. Marlowe is Stan is the superintendent or over maintenance, so he reports directly to the mayor, I'm pretty sure. So and the committee couldn't fire him; it had to be the mayor. But it turned out it was Jeff Marlowe for signing a purchase order for $20-something thousand. And how he got out of this was, I mean, these people did not know, this committee did not know that they could write this purchase order without getting permission for used equipment.
Okay, he is entitled then, according to what they're saying there, he is entitled to do this. He can make a purchase without any other, without taking for any, let's say the county commissioner or anybody, right?
Only on used equipment.
Only on used equipment.
And see, this guy, he's swift. I mean, he's slick as a ribbon, buddy. Well, so these guys didn't know that, and they was ready to bring the hammer down.
Well, all these rules that have been written are written by a previous or standing county commissioner. Somebody has written all these
Absolutely.
And all these rules, if you go back, it's kind of like the County Powers Act and Rule 13. All this stuff right now is on record. It's been voted on and whatever else. And the county mayor, as of now, allowed people to speak now with a few less rules, but they did not set aside Rule 13. It's still on the books and it's still enforceable. But yet they'll allow people to speak there now.
Right.
But see, they didn't go the route to move it. But anyhow, I don't know what to say on it. In other words, they didn't pass the tax tonight. It's going to be coming up for a vote again, or be voted on.
Well, Mr. Marlowe said to them tonight that it had to be no less than 50 cents.
Okay, but they didn't. Okay, let me go back to another thing.
And the thing about it is, who runs this county?
Well, I was at a court hearing where that someone was removed from an office and then they turned around and sued. And if this applies to this same situation, if Mr. Marlowe was relieved of his duties and they gave a reason, that's where that he can turn around and sue.
Big time.
That's right. If he is let go for no reason, as long as they don't give a reason, if he serves at the pleasure of the county commission or the finance committee, they could do that. But I'm talking about without repercussions. They could do it either way. But
Yeah.
one way, there would be a lawsuit involved.
Yeah, there's ways to let people go, change of administration, but there is laws out there to protect people, because that's used to be what would happen. They promised so many people, if you'll vote and your family will vote for me, I'll give you a job driving a school bus, or I'll give you a job teaching, or I'll do this and that. And then you're locked in and you can't let them go. But now, you let them go. But now you can't just let them go when you change administrations.
Well, standard operation. This tax thing, I read in the paper where they had so many pieces of property at the last tax sale that they had no bids on.
Right.
And this is an indication as to where this county, well, not only this county, but this whole country is going. We're getting in deeper and deeper all the time. And
well,
I don't see no end to it.
Would you know any reason why people would not bid on that property?
If I'm not mistaken, the liens or whatever follows the title, and I'm talking about tax. And if I'm not mistaken, the tax liens will follow the title, just like any whatever. But if you buy that piece of property for $1 and there's $10,000 worth of taxes owed on it, there's a good possibility you're going to have to pay the $10,000.
And there's a good possibility that you wouldn't have to pay, but on the next assessment, you're going to have to start paying.
That's correct. And now what I'm saying is there's a different things. I've been through some of this and I can't remember all of it. But at a court sale, that's supposed to clean the title.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Supposed to, but I'm not sure on some of this stuff how it works.
Well, I'll tell you this, I had a title search done on some property that I purchased, and it was all cleared and all this and that, and I paid like $190, $200 to get that done. And 2 or 3 years later, it come back and said I owed the back taxes and all this stuff for that long. I said, wait a minute, I paid a tax search, a title search on this. Why would I have to pay? It looked like the people had done the title search. Nope, you're responsible. So I went out and had a talk with them, and I got it reduced somewhat for this back to the maybe a year that I bought it, down to that. I don't remember exactly. That's been quite a few years ago. It's probably been 30 years ago.
I've been in such situations, and I won't go into all the details on whatever, but anyhow, let me bring up another subject.
Okay.
It has been, I've heard little snippets today as to how the present administration, Obama's administration, is pushing, and this is behind the scenes, and nobody's supposed to know anything about this. It's being written, worked up top secret, to where if you draw Social Security, and there's some all sorts of other things that you're not going to be entitled to own a weapon. Have you heard anything about that?
No, I haven't. Now, I have heard that there's some stuff in the pipeline that where if you're 66, 68 years old, whatever it is, and you made so much money that you wouldn't be entitled to those benefits.
Well, now, this what I'm talking about though is to possess a weapon. If you have someone else that handles your financial affairs or anything like that, or several other reasons that you will not be able to own a weapon, you won't be able to own the thing. If what it is, it's from what I can see, they're painting a real wide brush as a means by which to infringe upon the Second Amendment. But here's another thing.
I don't think no president, no matter who it is, Democrat or Republican, is going to ever be able to take my guns, your guns, or anybody else's gun. But I think it's going to be much harder to get guns.
Well, I just done a little research on it, and I think, I believe they said there was 23 executive orders that have been written pertaining to this subject, to the weapons, in little nips here and there that we don't hear nothing about. But this thing is being written and worked up and worded without the public or anyone knowing anything about it. And it just came out today. I heard about 3 points on it, and I ran it on the computer, and it is there. They're not denying it. But what it does, it rules out veterans and all sorts of people who can be concerned or labeled as having any type of mental or anything type of situation, which that's already part of it. But what the way this thing, from what I'm seeing, is they can spread this, cover all sorts of things. Let's say that you're no danger, nothing else or anything whatsoever. You're just incapable of doing your
I understand. Okay, but mentally challenged.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not mentally challenged.
Oh,
If you're just incapable, or you don't, let's say you don't even want to do it, you just want to hand it off to your children
oh, okay,
to be your power of attorney,
okay.
then it rules out your ability on a weapon. But now here's another thing that comes into play that people don't ever stop to think about. Let's say that you lose your right to have a weapon, then that means that the household that you reside in, there's not allowed to be any weapon in that residence.
Oh, okay.
Follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hadn't heard of that. Well, listen, I got another 2 calls that's been trying to get in for quite a while. Let me get one of them. I'm leaving here pretty soon.
I appreciate your time. Y'all have a safe one.
Thank you, buddy.
Sir.
You're on the air.
Ariel, I want to tell you, my wife and I, we went up to that redneck place you were talking about.
Uh-huh.
Buddy, that's some of the best eating I've eaten in a long time.
That's great.
We got them big tipped onions and peppers.
Uh-huh.
Now I'm telling you, and what we done, we sort of founded ourselves. There's so much of
Did you tell them that you're from Scott?
It's as good as Ariel said it was.
Oh, did you? Well, I'll tell you what, and folks, I am not exaggerating. I never, ever really could say that I liked fish.
Yeah.
And I still can't say that I really, really like fish. But I will say, on Friday night, the people that love fish, from 4 o'clock until 9 o'clock, you can't hardly get in that restaurant, and it's $6.99.
You know, what kind of fish is that?
I don't know, but it's good.
I know that one guy was talking about, I hear that one guy, he was trying to get us that day with us for which is on Saturday. They told us that it's on Friday night special. And it's a white fish, but they said it was real good.
No, I'm telling you. It's good. It's good. And I'm telling you, like you said, I don't know, I really don't believe that you can make steak any better. And I don't think that the inside of for just a country restaurant, you could find one that looks any better.
No, or any cleaner, and I want to taste the people that he's got over there. They're just what you say. They're down home friendly.
Absolutely.
Sure is.
Okay.
But we enjoy it. I appreciate your information on that.
I hope you go back.
Oh, I'm going to.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I had another couple of people that wanted in, but if you'll call me the next minute and a half, I'll get you in. But other than that, I need to leave here about 2 or 3 minutes early tonight. I got something else I got to go get done, and I got to go to the doctor in the morning. So you're on the air.
Ariel, when they having the reunion thing at Clinchmore?
It'll be this Saturday, starting at 9 o'clock till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You got it?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. You have a safe evening.
Thank you. And also, folks, I want to remind you all that Scott County, starting this Sunday at 7 o'clock, they're going to start a revival on the mall. And if you all see, there'll be a lot of people there. There's 12 churches already, and any church here in the Campbell County, they told me to tell you tonight, you're welcome to come and join them, and they'll schedule time for you, singers or preachers or whatever. But everybody's welcome. And you know, they started this about 5 years ago, and getting people in and was praying about drugs. So everybody is invited at the mall in Huntsville. You're on the air.
Brother Ariel, you look good tonight.
Well, thank you.
I'm glad your surgery went good. I've been praying for you.
Well, I appreciate it. Really appreciate it.
And I love you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I appreciate all those folks and everybody that's thought about me and mentioned it to me, and you just don't know. I mean, I can't explain to you what all has been going on with me, but I can tell you this, whenever things that's going on with me, you don't get any sleep. You stay tired all the time. And there's a lot of times that there's ends up in embarrassing situations. And you don't feel comfortable going out in public much because you're afraid of what might happen. That's what's been happening to me. And it's been going on close to 10 years, I'd say, but it's gotten much, much, much worse in the last couple of years. So they've been trying to do something for me, and they'll get it done. And there's things that I could do a little different to help myself, but I'm still too stubborn. I love you all for watching me, and thank you for thinking of me while I was gone. I'll be back here next Monday night. But True Value Homes, if you get a chance to get over there and talk to them, and anybody that needs a new home, you need to at least shop. One of the, I guess, most important things you ever do in life is purchasing a home. Not the most important, but it's the most, I guess, affect your life other than your kids and your family. But I hope you'll all go over there and tell them that RL sent you, and I greatly appreciate it. And good night, everybody. I'll see you next week.